Alright, I have another go at this today. So I worked on it for a couple hours the other day. Made up some more of the seat mounting hardware, so now I got a base kind of fabbed up a little bit. So, got a piece of tube here that I put a bolt through, right under there. Got the spring mounted. I took the stock pegs that were sticking up and I put some square tubing over there. And then I ground them down flat so they look better. And I'm going to weld these to this, and that will hold the tube in the correct spot. Hold the springs on. Then we got the spring up here, and then this should pull up off the pegs relatively easily, so you can lift the seat up to get to the battery if you need to. And I got to weld this up here on the tank also. So that's where I left off at. So I'm going to weld this up right now, which is going to be using that thing, and I'll be back. I don't need to show welding anymore. So there you go. All right, I just got done welding it. I got a couple of real good welds here up the side. I'm about to pull the gas tank off to weld on the front. I stuck a piece of metal between the gas tank and here to put it back where it needs to be. And as this collapses down, it'll go straight up and down with this. If you have the springs making a big S bend, it's hard on the springs. So as this goes down, these will line up almost perfectly straight, which is what you want. Obviously, I tacked these onto here. So got a good bead on this one here also. So yeah, that should be in there pretty good now. Didn't even burn any holes in the seat either. Oh, miracles happen. All right, and this here comes up a little bit. This side's a little bit harder coming up than this side, but it does come up. Just got to kind of wiggle it. Definitely a two-handed operation. I don't have two hands right this minute. Alright, we'll make two hands in a second though. There we go. Now we can see what two hands look like. Yep. Got spring load on it, don't want to come up now. These here will center things up so they get harder. Get the pins loosened up some more for the new angles. Definitely a little bit tighter. Came up a lot easier when you didn't have the seat mounted. That's all right. We'll be working on this part. Just a matter of getting the high spots figured out. So just the side over here that tends to be the problem side. But they have to go up together. There we go. Like that. Now you can work on your bike. That's how you do it. A nice good bead across there. Probably don't need to put a bead on the front, but it would look better if you had it all the way across, so we'll do it. Don't know what that wires for yet. Alright, so we're going to have to work on these. A little bit of weld splatter on this here, going to knock off. So, anyway, I'll pound these out a little bit so it goes on up and down a lot easier than what it was. You want them under tight enough it doesn't rattle around, but you want them loose enough you can pull them up on and off there if you got to get them on and off. But this is not exactly a super precision piece in here. Geez, that's got some serious amounts of clearance in there. Yeah, that's a precision piece of crap. See, it slides down nice and easy. It's just a matter of getting it squared up. So the secret is you got to push in the front here a little bit. Looks like slid in real nice and easy. Gravity helping me. All right. We'll get this thing taken apart, weld up the rest away, and we will be back. Okay, got the welding done, painting done, painting drying. Colder than hell outside, so the paint doesn't want to dry too well, but we're going to seat a little bit. Painted all this stuff over here, painted all this, put the gas tank back down. Didn't shove the wire back up yet though. So this is all painted here. And welded all the way around both sides. Kind of see in there a little bit, but oh well, is what it is. Anyway, it won't be falling off. It's got a good bead in there. So I paint all this stuff down here where it's all ground on and modified. So now we got to try putting it back together. So the seat springs here. I got a locking nut here, flange nut, like this. Here is what's holding this down here with a big washer under it. And what I'm doing right now is I'm jam nutting it, so I put another nut on top of that nut. And when you stack two nuts together, it jams them both together, and then even if things kind of loosen up, it still won't fall apart because it'll be jammed against each other. So that's what I'm in the process of doing on this. And when I do the bottom ones here, I'm going to use blocking flange nuts, which are these ones. Actually, I think I was going to plan on putting those in there, but I didn't. Yeah, well, I can't use those because these are 3. These are 5/16, and I went to 3/8, so those aren't going to work. So this hardware is too small. It's a good thing we got more hardware. And a tripod in the way. As usual. No. No. Yep. So these are the 5/16, which are all sealed up. Yep, there we go. Popped it up in one hand. Pretty good, huh? Lost one. Make sure you don't mix up your hardware. Nothing worse than having mixed up hardware. These are the 3/8, which is what we need. Yeah, should get that on one hand too. Ooh, pretty good, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Being a mechanic's like a magician, you gotta be able to use your hands and fingers in all kinds of weird angles. I don't know why I brought 4, I only need 2. Oh well, got extras. Alright, so right now I'm going to try to get this nut on top of that stud, and my fingers don't like fitting in there, so it's kind of hard to do. But we're going to do it anyway. We already did the one, so the key is let gravity help you. So keep strapping down and get it where the nut will fall into place and be what you need. Between your fingers and your thumbs and whatever else you got there. Got one opportunity for it to fall in correctly and lots of opportunities not to. From this side here. Come on, fall. There it goes. So you get to fall on top of the stud, and you kind of use your fingernails and your tips to center and rotate. If it's straight, as it rotates, it'll catch the thread and go down. It's trying to cross thread that time. And next time it centers it up, goes down. Not a lot of room in these springs. Okay, this stud here doesn't want to let me go down, so I have to use a wrench. This stud has burrs on it. Remember, this stud was a metric. I put coarse thread on it, so half the threads are kind of missing. So I just tighten it up. Got a clip. Now that won't come off. Alright, so I gotta put this back on. That was done with locking flange nuts. More. And interruptions. Hello. Yeah.